W1A was back this week for series 3.
He's doing the question mark again. 3, yes, 3.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Third and final series of the BBC satire. Again, a question mark.
Yeah.
I'm asking.
He just wants reassurance. Luke, give it to him.
I'll tell you what we need to do, Matt. We need to be in a house together.
Yes.
Recording
made of
these
gingerbread.
so that I can just talk to you and say everything's going to be all right.
Hello.
Hello. A nuisance call of some kind. Yeah, we need to be in this house together, and then I can just look at you and say, look, you're right, Matt. You don't need my reassurance. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Third and final series of John Morton's BBC satire. How's that? The big sort of plot here in the first episode was the fact that the gang, as I will call them, had to deal with this footballer, former Premiership footballer called Ryan Shelford, played, I thought, excellently by Ben Batt, formerly of Scott and Bailey. He, in a Channel 4 documentary, has come out as being a cross-dresser, and he claims in the documentary that the BBC didn't hire him for Match of the Day because they learnt that he was a cross-dresser. But in fact, they tested him out, and he was too dull. And the great gag there from David Westhead says, "What, too dull for Match of the Day?" But then they do give him a tryout, which is just brilliantly performed. Hugh Bonneville and Nina Sosagna's characters and Sarah Parish's character all go to.
What's that now? There's something else going on now.
Oh, that's my washing. Give me a second.
We need to all be in one house.
Please keep. Well, I've done the groundwork.
I'll keep going. I can move. I've got a laptop.
We need to all be in one house, so if there's something Gary hasn't watched, he can do Matt's watching.
So they go to Salford to the Match of the Day studios, where they see that he is indeed rubbish, but he is doing.
I did have Matt angling all his watching while he's talking about W1A.
No, I just had to turn off the washing machine because it finished. It makes a noise. No. No, that's all I was doing was turning the knob.
Put it through the mangle. No.
I'm lost now. Where are we?
They went to the Match of the Day studios.
Yeah, and there was a great. I mean, I love that bit where he was doing the. So Ryan, you've got some stuff for it. Yeah, Gary, I have. Yeah.
Gary
and for me, Gary,
doing some very convincing acting without.
As Gary Lineker.
Yeah.
And Ryan, I know you were less than impressed with some of Southampton's defending.
Yeah, I was, Gary, I was.
Right.
Well, for me, they were poor, and for me, that's unacceptable.
And I think you've got some examples that you wanted to highlight.
Yeah, I have, yeah. Well, for me, they were poor, Gary, and for me, when you're poor at this level, you're going to end up getting beat. And yes, they got a draw, but I'm sorry, for me, that's not a win in my book.
Right, and I know you've been looking in particular at their defensive shape at the back.
Yeah, I have, yeah. OK, right, so, if you look here... No, wait, that's... there's a bit where if... Oh, yeah, here we go. Right, so, you've got your basic diamond, right? And what happens if... Yeah, so Yoshida, he's in the channel on the left. Or, no, on the right. Yeah, but Bertrand's over here, look. Hang on a minute. Yeah, here we go. He's in the hole behind Højbjerg, who's gone all the way over here. Instead, now look, where's he going? Look, there he goes, look. Oh, no, wait, is that Van Dijk? Yeah. Whereas Ward-Prowse is basically left trying to make a diamond on his own, which for me, I'm sorry, he's not going to do that. I mean, it's not a diamond now anyway, is it? I mean, what is that? It's more, it's kind of, oh, now look, it's gone all, it's not... I mean, what is that? It's not even a shape. It's just like a pointy line. And I'm sorry, but for me, you're not going to win games at this level with pointy lines, Gary.
Right.
I mean, if these were actual cars, right, this would literally be a car crash. Do you know what I'm saying? It's poor, and for me, I'm sorry, that's not acceptable.
Yes.
And then the other thing was you had Jessica Hines and her story is that Perfect Curve has now been bought out by the Dutch company Fun, who have sort of random silent discos during their work hours, which is quite amusing. They are tasked with presenting a welcome gift to the BBC, and eventually one of the new employees comes up with BBC Me, which is essentially YouTube, but for the BBC, where they upload content. And one of the things they start working on is a version of On Your Bike, which was the show that Hugh Skinner's brilliantly sort of thick Will Humphreys came up with last year, like a biking chat show, which then turns into bicycle shorts for BBC Me, which is basically videos of people on their bikes saying, "This is me on my bike." I went to the screening of this at the BBC, which was quite interesting.
I bet.
The most interesting thing was going through security, like to get into the little press room. It's like airport security.
Really?
You had to actually go through.
Did you get patted down?
Well, no, because I didn't set the alarm off.
Oh, okay.
I put all my, but you have to put you get the whole thing where you put your keys and everything, and then you go through the thing. Yeah, it's very.
I've not flown in a while, so I'll relate that to jury duty.
Seen people go through passport control and
Not for a while. I haven't seen Love Actually recently, so.
Well, none of them set off anything in Love Actually. He goes through the bloody
That's
anyway.
true. Yeah, blooming jumps through, doesn't
There
it?
are so many holes in that film. Let's do a podcast on that.
I feel like we are.
Patreon. We'll do if you get enough $10 backers, we'll do a Love Actually podcast. There's something.
I'd rather they save their money to be
Yeah, I was
honest.
going to say, I'd rather just take the 10 quid myself, you know.
Gary doesn't watch it, so Luke, what were your thoughts on this?
I really, really, really enjoyed this. I hadn't quite, because it had been a while since it'd been on, I hadn't quite realised or remembered how densely packed it is with gags. The rhythm of it is so unique. There's nothing else like the way they talk on this show. You could almost forget that you're watching something that's written because it just feels like it's improvised. It's so well done. The voiceover bits by David Tennant are completely incomprehensible and brilliant all at the same time.
The fact is, this is about identifying what we do best and finding more ways of doing less of it better.
Yes, brilliant.
Yeah, bollocks.
The charter renewal process gives the BBC an opportunity to question everything it does and ask the question whether there's any point to any of it at all anymore.
And with all that in mind, my suggestion is that as from today, this becomes the renewal group rather than way ahead.
All right, okay. Yes, good.
Hallelujah.
Well, no.
Renewal.
No, honestly.
Amen.
It just focuses the mind, that's all.
No, I'm sorry, Ian. That is just, I feel like opening the window and shouting down Regent Street.
No, well, please don't.
No, Christ's sake.
Really, it's about resetting the dial for everyone in the building and shining a new light on that dial. Or at least shining the old light, but with a new bulb, so none of us can be in any doubt where the dial is or can have any excuse for not being able to read what it says.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Blame me.
We got that.
On that?
Yep.
Joyous.
I'm a mixture between sad that it's finishing, but glad that it's finishing to the same degree as well, because I don't know how long they could keep it going for. But it is unique, and it is something that I'm surprised Gary doesn't watch, but I've been surprised.
You watched
before.
bits, didn't you, Gary?
Yeah, I've watched probably the first one of each series.
Why,
Gary? Why, Delilah? I don't know. I just don't think I'm that much of a TV insider that I get all the jokes and some of the characters. Like last year there was the guy who was getting coffee, like the posh boy was just and I just didn't like the character.
Yeah, cool.
And everything he did, he didn't do anything new. He was
cool.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, okay, yeah, great, funny, yeah.
That's it. Everyone's sort of got their catchphrase, isn't it? And I think that's everyone's catchphrase is right, good, yes, very good.
But a lot of them have changed. I mean, obviously the whole program changed from being about 2012 into being about about being about the BBC. So I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
You don't know.
On it.
One of the things that I read, I think it was Ophelia Loverbond who plays Izzy, said that it's, as you say, it's so tightly packed that it is really hard to film, and I think that's why they're finishing it, because it's so quick, so fast paced. I think they do find it hard to deliver all those lines. And
it's just brilliant. If you've never watched it, give it a go. It'll probably put a smile on your face at the very least.
And it just gets better if you watch this first one. The second one is brilliant as well. I mean, there's more Ben Batt in the second one. I love the way that the lines are delivered, I think, and the way that they're written, I think is great. And for like a sort of ensemble that's got like 10 or 12 different characters in it, I think that is a real achievement. And the fact that a lot of the dialogue is just people saying yes and well done and exactly yes, well done, brilliant.
It's so clever, isn't it? Anyway, W1A Monday nights 10 o'clock on BBC Two.
All right, okay. Yes, good.
Hallelujah.